It's now my privilege to introduce Dr. Jamie Wada, Justice Studies Associate Professor and Department Chair, as our featured speaker today. Since he joined the CSE Justice Studies Department in 2007, Dr. Wada has been a Faculty Senate Secretary, a Student Senate Advisor, the Faculty Athletic Representative, and served on numerous committees. Dr. Wada has published articles in the American Journal of Criminal Justice, the Journal of Criminal Justice Education and Policing, and International Journal of Police Strategies and Management. He was a co-recipient of the McNamara Award for Outstanding Journal Publication by the Academy of Criminal Justice Science and has completed over 350 hours of post-certified training in investigation. In 2010, Dr. Wada was invited to the Marine Corps Educators Workshop in Quantico, Virginia. The week-long workshop provided him training on communicating with students who are considering Marine Corps Officer Candidate School. Dr. Wada is a member of the Rocky Mountain Association of Bloodstain Pattern Analysis, the International Association of Bloodstain Pattern Analysts, the International Law Enforcement Educators and Training Association, and is a certified law enforcement firearms instructor. Please help me welcome Dr. Jamie Wada.
Well, thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here today. Congratulations, graduate students. This is an important day. As a professor, I never tell students what to think. I just discuss the information that's out there, and with that information, they can pick their own truth. But today is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to tell you what I think, what I believe is true. So put on your helmets. It's going to be Thunderdome. It's not. What's an education? What's an education? Why is it one of the most, to me, it's one of the most pure things there is. Most of life, zero-sum game. I give you $10. You have $10. I don't have $10. You give me $10. I have $10. You don't have it anymore. Someone wins, someone loses. But an education is different. You tell me what you know, I get to keep it, and you get to keep it. I tell you what I know, you get to keep it, and so do I. Then hopefully, we build on both what we collectively now know. That idea is synergy. So your education is synergistic. So what is synergy? Dramatic pause. There are lots of lofty leather-bound books and the smell of mahogany definitions, but at its essence, I think it's what Bruce Springsteen used to say at the end of his concerts. Nobody wins unless everybody wins. And an education, and your education will create that idea, that happening with people and places. Your education is synergistic. My friend said it would be impossible to reference Springsteen in a commencement speech. Just did it, check. Okay. There are two lessons I learned that were important to me, and they still are. And I think if you truly think about these ideas, they'll help you as much as they help me. The first lesson was a baseball metaphor. An average baseball player's batting average is in the 200s. What does a 200 batting average mean? It means the batter gets 2 hits out of 10 times at bat. What kind of hits? Not home runs, not doubles, not triples, not grand slams, just getting on base. So 2 out of 10 times, essentially, they're failing 80% of the time. So what does that all mean? It doesn't take much to be average. It doesn't take much. Now, what is a great batting average? About a 300. What's the difference about a batter with a 300 average? Sure, there's natural ability, but probably more importantly, things like training, hard work, discipline, effort, focus. But again, what's a 300 batting average? 1 more hit than the average player, still failing 70% of the time. So what does it take to be great? Not much more than average, right? So always do just a little bit more. Get there a little earlier, stay a little longer, try a little harder, think a little deeper, and that will make the difference, I promise you. Lastly, when I was in graduate school, I said to a professor, I don't know why I'm doing this, talking about my education. And he said to me, you think your education's about you. And I didn't know what that meant at the time, but I do now. So I'll tell you what I learned. For the graduates, look around the room. Look around the room. I mean, seriously, look around the room. See all the people. Why are they all here? Why are they all here? If the consequences of your education was solitary, wouldn't you be here by yourself? So this was my lesson, and I hope it will be for you as well. This is what the professor said to me. Your education is not about you. It is about your family, your friends, your community, and your people. Why? Because an education elevates everyone. And specifically, your education elevates everyone. Again, that's the idea of synergy. So understanding that idea, you have to think of your education as a responsibility. And so you should treat it as such. So thank you, everybody, and congratulations.